Welcome to We Are Valley, a podcast by Valley Medical Center, located in Renton, Washington. We Are Valley is dedicated to providing you bite-sized advice to improve your health and well-being, and keep you updated on the latest medical guidance. This podcast is for informational purposes only and is not intended to be taken as medical advice. So please talk to your provider before making changes that will affect your health.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the We Are Valley podcast. My name is Alex McGuire. I'm one of the producers of this show and your host for today's episode. Today, I have the great privilege and honor to be talking with Dr. Arora and Chermaine Wulff, both of the Infusion Center and Cancer Center. Welcome both to the podcast. Can I have you introduce yourselves?
So I'm Chermaine Wulff. I'm the manager of Infusion Center here at Valley. I've been here for almost 10 years now. I love being part of the patient journey during this challenging times in their lives. I am also the president of the Puget Sound Oncology Nursing Society, which focuses on the education, competency, skills of nurses across the Puget Sound region. The team here at Valley has a deep passion for providing care, and that's what brought me here. We have a lot of needs here in South King County, and we're happy to be a key part of that treatment.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here. Dr. Arora, can I have you likewise introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you?
I'm Navanshu Arora. I'm the Associate Medical Director for Cancer Services. I also co-chair the Research Oversight Committee. I'm the Med Staff Chief, and amongst some of my other hats, I also am the Principal Investigator for all the clinical trials, which are oncology, here at Valley Medical Center. I have been at Valley Medical Center for about 10 years. I have been doing oncology for more than 2 decades, and improving the knowledge base for us to treat our patients better for better outcomes is a passion of mine.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that introduction. It sounds like we keep you pretty busy with all those many hats.
It keeps me out of trouble.
All right. Well, let's roll into some of our questions. Chermaine, what made you choose cancer services as your specialty, and why is it important to you?
Well, cancer has a very big impact in my life. I have family members that passed away with the disease, and seeing it and all the needs of the patients, I really would like to be part of that journey. It's an opportunity to make a difference in people's lives. And oncology offers a chance to really be part of a patient's journey, not just in technical care, but also in emotional and psychological support that people need. Mm-hmm. So it's a field where I can help people fight for their health in a meaningful way. And as a leader, we're able to really strategize and make a difference in a bigger scale.
Dr. Arora, same question. What made you choose cancer services as your specialty, and why is it important to you?
So cancer has a very special significance in my life. My mother was diagnosed with breast cancer when I was in high school. I saw her fight through that. Through multiple rounds of chemotherapy, and she did well for a period of time. She had a stroke because of the cancer. So that's a personal vendetta against cancer that I have, and that's what made me choose oncology at the onset of my medical career. I wanted to do oncology because I wanted to make a difference. Patients who are going through oncologic care are in a very vulnerable state. Providing them with care, support, and possible cure is extremely important to me. So it's personal.
Absolutely. It's always so special to get to ask people about why they're passionate about what they do, because everybody just has such unique stories and perspectives that they bring to the table around that passion. So thank you both. We are getting into the first phase of Valley's Cancer Center, which will be opening to our first patients February 3rd, 2025. This project has been years in the making. There's a lot more work to come. What does this milestone mean to you?
So the Infusion Center, like you said, has been a long time coming. We have grown our services and outgrown our current space a long time ago. I still remember to this day when we were standing out in the cold and had the groundbreaking for the new cancer center.
Mm-hmm.
That was in 2019. And our hopes was that we would go live in 2020. Unfortunately, COVID happened. And so it took a little bit longer, but this does help expand our services that we can take care of more patients in a timely fashion, because time is of the utmost importance when you are treating someone who has a terminal diagnosis or a diagnosis that has significant impact in their quality of life, in their length of life, their functionality, their ability to work, earn a living. And getting this care closer to home is extremely important for them. This just is a huge milestone for us to be able to expand that services, do newer things, and also do it closer to home.
Yeah, this means that our patients, especially the older ones with transportation issues and many other issues that prevents them from getting treatment, will be able to be more comfortable closer to home. They don't have to worry about driving too far, being in traffic, and paying for parking. Also, potentially not having and worrying that somebody won't be able to take them to treatments. Right. So a lot of barriers to care will be addressed by having this new space. It ensures that our community have a local top-notch cancer center. It consolidates all these services in one place. First, we're just moving the infusion center, but eventually everybody will be under one roof, which really makes it very convenient for patients.
Yeah. And when you talk about, like you said earlier, the psychological and emotional burden it puts on a patient to be responsible for getting to all of their appointments for various reasons, the everyone under one roof is really, really exciting. Why is this cancer center so important for our hospital district right now? How will it improve the care that our patients receive? And I'm going to throw this question to you, Dr. Arora.
The cancer diagnosis is increasing, and it is increasing in our district. It's the number one cause of death in our district. This means that these patients need the care now, and also need it closer to home. Most of the patients do not have more than $1,000 in their bank account. This does have a significant financial impact on their lives, on their livelihoods, on their caregiver's livelihood, their ability to run their household, their ability to pay bills. Getting care closer to home is the need of the hour. They will be able to get the best possible care that they can receive anywhere in the world right here.
Oh, that gives me goosebumps. Chermaine, one of the things that we have talked about a lot in our excitement around the opening of the new cancer center is that the infusion center is now going to have 40% greater capacity. Why is that such a big deal? Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. In the current space, we're playing musical chairs almost every day just to make sure that our patients does not have to wait over 2 weeks for their appointments. They're already dealing with a very difficult news, right? And we don't want them to wait for that first day of treatment. So therefore, having greater capacity will make it easy for them. It's greater ease for scheduling, shorter wait times, and we will now have the ability to be more flexible in scheduling. So for these patients, that means that it's less stress, more access to treatments that they need in a timely manner. There was also a time, before that we had to consolidate treatments just to ensure that some of the patients with difficulty, like I said, transportation, difficulty driving at night, those limitations, when you put all those restrictions together, it's not really good for patient experience. So this greater capacity responds to that.
Yeah, those barriers to care. I mean, when you really do kind of stack those all up and then pair it with we have finite amount of space, we have so many other folks needing treatment at the same time, it's really exciting to think about what the additional space for treatment is going to really mean and impact.
Not only will they have more space for scheduling, the actual physical space, you can actually have extra space around you where your family can sit down and be comfortable, and the chairs are much more comfortable. So I'm really excited that we can provide that to the patients.
Absolutely. Thank you. No, that's a really wonderful thing to add. I have another follow-up question for you. We know that chemotherapy is a really big part of what you folks do in the infusion center, but you also serve patients that have many different needs. Not all of them are necessarily cancer. Can you share a little bit about the other conditions that you treat at Infusion and what types of treatments those might be?
Definitely. One of my favorite things working as a leader for our infusion center at Valley is that we don't just care for cancer patients. We care for every patient that requires intravenous therapy. So that includes autoimmune diseases and other conditions that require infusion therapies. So, for example, we have rheumatoid arthritis. So we have patients from rheumatology, cardiology, pulmonology, urology, all other specialties that we have at Valley. They also send patients to us, and we're happy to provide that. We also have patients that requires IV hydration, antibiotics, from inpatient to outpatient care, mostly for antibiotics and continuous treatments. We're able to provide that. So what that makes my team also is consisting of very skilled nurses that are well-versed in many, many drugs that we provide at Infusion Center.
Super important when you're juggling lots of different types of care, for sure. Okay, let's move on to our next question. Chermaine, what was the vision behind the design with Phase 1A? How does it cater to patient-centered care?
The design was really to make sure that we have an environment for healing. Right. So it's not only functional, but it really offers a space for comfort and healing and calming. So there's natural lights coming through those windows. There's calming colors everywhere, comfortable chairs. So that design has really been put together with the patient in mind.
That's awesome. Dr. Arora, do you have anything else to add?
This is designed with the patient in mind, and that starts right from the get-go. Access. You get to park on the 7th floor of the parking garage. There will be wheelchairs there if you need one. You go across the Sky Bridge, which is the Bridge of Hope, and you will have a huge lobby designed for accessing the cancer center. You will have access to lab being on the same floor, new expanded mini track, which means short infusions when you're not going to be in the infusion center for very long. This will help with, again, patient-centered care. And then our plan obviously is more grand because we need to start building our next phase, which is the clinics right next door, and then our research wing and radiation down on the first floor. So the story continues.
And I just want to add, with that patient in mind, there will be a cafe also on the same floor as the medical oncology and infusion center eventually, and that really will just add to that ease and comfort for patients.
I know you kind of alluded to it, but just to kind of recenter, like kind of why that's so important. Oftentimes treatments are long. Right? You're sitting there for a concerted amount of time. And depending on, what your treatment schedule looks like, maybe you had to run from work straight to your infusion appointment. And if you forgot your lunch, having access to things like a cafe is really, really important.
Yes, most definitely. We do also offer some nutritional food in infusion center during their treatment. But yes, definitely having a cafe on the same floor is beneficial.
Are there new features specific to the infusion center that will help improve the patient experience?
Yes, definitely. I'm excited to share with you that this new infusion center will actually have a family lounge, and it will have the things that's comfortable for caregivers and family members. As you know, as when patients go through cancer, it's also hard for families. So this will offer a space for them. They can work there, they can eat there, they can watch TV, play games. So I'm excited about that. And then there's also the chairs that has heated seats and massage, and it's just really, really comfortable for the patients. We tested it with patients and they love it.
Dr. Aurora, when we open in February, there's also going to be an acute symptom management clinic. Can you share a bit more about how this will be helpful to patients?
So as you're aware, when patients are getting treatment, they have acute needs. They have needs that need to be seen or managed now. These patients are immunosuppressed and immunocompromised, meaning that waiting in the emergency room for hours on end with other patients who have infections is not in their best interest. Most of these can be managed in an expeditious manner. And that's why we wanted to start with acute symptom management clinic. So think more an urgent care of patients who are on active treatment. These will be managed by our APPs, our nurse practitioners, and physician assistants who will be seeing these patients in an expedited manner after being triaged with our nurse navigators. And they will get the treatment that they need in a more timely fashion without having to wait in the ER as much as possible, avoiding hospitalizations, avoiding ER visits.
That's really, really special. And then, Chermaine, there's a couple other things that are also opening up in this phase 1A. Can you talk a little bit about there will be an infusion pharmacy, and there's also going to be the Trapper and Samantha Wellbeing Resource Center. Can you share about those areas of the cancer center and how they'll help patients?
Let me start first with the pharmacy. There will be now a pharmacy dedicated and will be mixing and compounding medications up there on the third floor. What that means to the patients is that there will be less wait times, which is great, right? Current state, we add an additional maybe an hour to their schedule because, again, of the current scheduling of the patients as well as the mixing of the medications. So that will be a plus and beneficial to patients' total treatment time. For Trapper and Samantha Wellbeing Center, that will house a lot of resources, including wig fittings, educational materials, some resources such as nutrition consult. There's volunteers there. There will be computers there to help if just in case patient need to look into something and talk to a resource that's going to be placed in that base. Then many more. We have not fully developed yet all the things that can go there, but it's definitely something to be excited about.
Absolutely. Kind of a space where we can say the sky's the limit until we really nail down what we think is the right fit. That's really, really exciting. Dr. Arora, can you tell us a little bit more about our comprehensive cancer program at Valley? What kind of care can patients receive here without having to travel to Seattle or Tacoma?
That's a great question. We have highly trained physicians who are board certified. We have physicians who are trained at the Fred Hutch. We have the medical oncologists, GYN oncologists, radiation oncologists. We're able to do all the care that the patients need right here. We have folks with interventional radiology and interventional gastroenterology who can do therapeutic procedures, meaning things that putting in stents, putting in ports, doing biopsies, doing other treatments which are directed at the cancer itself and can be done locally. I'm very proud to be associated with them, and that's what makes us feel that we're following the mission of the organization, which is treating patients like family. It's a team effort, and it takes a village to take care of a patient who has cancer. I would also give credit to our ancillary team, which includes our physical therapy team, occupational therapy team, our financial coordinators, our financial counselors, palliative care team. We cannot be taking care of these patients without their help because, again, it takes a village to take care of these patients.
Absolutely. I was just going to add that it really highlights and reminds when Chermaine was mentioning how she's so excited for us to have a family space for folks that are part of the care team for a loved one when they have cancer, really reiterating that, depending on where you're at in your treatment or your diagnosis, sometimes being all on your own isn't feasible. And like she was mentioning around transportation, like sometimes driving is not an option. And so it is just so exciting to have an organization with that so top of mind, and that is a through line through how we think about the patients that we're treating. Moving on to our next question, also for you, Dr. Arora, are there any innovative treatments being offered to our patients? Can they participate in research studies and clinical trials?
So as an organization, we are part of a consortium that helps us participate in clinical trials through the National Cancer Institute. We offer about 70 to 80 clinical trials for our patients. This not only helps expand our knowledge, but also helps patient get the latest and greatest, which may be the breakthrough medicine for that disease. It helps us also treat these patients in a very innovative manner, which are now all directed based on targeted therapy. What is the precision medicine and what is the right approach to a particular patient? And we do participate in these trials, and we have been very fortunate that we have met our goals that are required by Commission on Cancer, which is an accrediting organization, and we have done extremely well. This would not have been possible without patients wanting to participate in these research activities.
This is a question for both of you. So Chermaine, I'm going to start with you. Tell us a little bit about the incredible team of people that you work with in cancer services at Valley and how they make care special for our patients.
I believe that our team of people is the secret sauce of our cancer services, right? We have very, very passionate people, compassionate, respectful people that works for cancer services, medical oncology, infusion center, radiation oncology, and many other departments underneath it. They always go above and beyond the care of the patient. So especially when the patients have needs that cannot be addressed by anybody else, I can tell you any one of the staff members will move mountains and go above and beyond the daily job description to help these patients so that they don't have to go home being more anxious about things. And this is really because they truly care about the people that we see in our different departments. And it's just a very nice feeling when you enter the doors of any of these departments. And I can say for Infusion Center, patients always say we feel like family.
A lot of energy from being of service, right? Being energized in a scenario where you get to help those that you really care about. Dr. Arora, same question to you. Tell us about the incredible team of people that you work with in cancer services at Valley. How do they make care special for our patients?
I'm very proud to work here at Valley Medical Center. I'm very proud to be working here at Cancer Services. Every day, I hear of instances which again gives me goosebumps because of the experience of patients, the kindness that they have received. We have highly trained providers from medical oncology who do chemotherapy, hormonal therapy, or who direct chemotherapy and hormonal therapy, radiation docs who give and direct radiation, surgeons that are invaluable to us, and we have then the subspecialists, which may be the cardiologist, the radiologist, the gastroenterologist, urologist, orthopedic, and the list goes on. And I can't say anything less than I'm struck with awe when I hear about feedback about our infusion center nurses. The passion that they have, the kindness that they have, it is exemplary. So I'm really proud to be a part of the cancer services.
Thank you both for those answers. It gives me goosebumps to hear about just kind of the magic, right? When you have that team of the right folks doing the right things and it all just works in a way that it feels like you could do anything. That's really, really special.
And you know the saying, right? If you love what you do, it's really not like work. It's you're having fun doing it. I'm not sure if you want to add this, but one of the patient stories that we cannot ever forget was during just the beginning of COVID. We have this young man with advanced disease, and he really wanted to get married. And I'm gonna cry just sharing the story because it's very special. But he was hospitalized, and obviously COVID, so you can't really have family at the bedside. But he knew there's not much time, so they wanted to get married. And because it's COVID, there's not a lot of things that we can do. But gosh, the staff, the nurses that really knew about the story, they started this motion of events that led to a Valley wedding in the reflection area. We all witnessed it. We prepared overnight within 24 hours, leadership and staff and inpatient. We all helped one another to make this happen. And it did. It was beautiful. Everybody's wearing a mask, and the only person that's allowed inside is, of course, the bride. But that wouldn't have happened if we just do a job versus actually caring.
Thank you for sharing that. You're going to make me cry. What are the next steps for the Cancer Center? How can members of our community help advance this important work?
This is the first step in our Cancer Center. We have more work to do. Our next steps are the planning and building phase of the clinics and the multidisciplinary clinic. Subsequently, it's our research wing and radiation oncology on the first floor. So there's more work to be done. This is for the community. So we would love for people to come join us on January 16th, where the ribbon cutting is. This has taken years in making, and we are proud that it is coming to fruition, and so that we can start treating people here. Be involved. Join us for January 16th.
Thank you. All right. And then last question, this is for both of you. As we prepare to open this building to our first patients, what do you want people in the community to know? For those who are able to join us for our grand opening celebration, what do you hope that they take away from the event? Chermaine, we'll start with you.
Yes. I would like our community to know that we have a cancer program locally here in South King County. We are here to serve you. We care. We have a great program. We have lots of great people, and we treat people with compassion and respect, and we're very patient-centered. But more than that, I hope that you will join us at the grand opening so that you can meet us and get a takeaway that there's a sense of hope. And we would like to build a stronger connection to the community and build a support system with you in this fight. So come see us January 16th.
Dr. Arora, you're next.
The takeaway point for this is that this is a cancer center for the community. This is built for them because there is a need. There is not a cancer center in the South King County. The goal is to be able to treat the patients here with the best possible care there is right here in the community, which goes on to Valley's mission of treating patients like family. And that's what we want people to take away from the ribbon cutting that we have on January 16th. So come join us for the ribbon cutting, and we would hope to see you there.
And with that, I'll just add that our event is going to be from 4 to 8 p.m. There will be some programming starting around 5:30. So if you are interested, get the date in your calendar now. There is more information about this on our website, valleymed.org, and we will also be adding it in the show notes. I really loved, Dr. Arora, your wording around it being part one, right? It's kind of the first chapter in a new book, and we've got so much more of the story to get to. So with that, our guests today have been Chermaine Wulff and Dr. Navanshu Arora. Thank you both so much. I am so grateful that you have both been able to spend time with us here on the podcast. And for all those listening, we hope to see you at the ribbon cutting.
This has been We Are Valley, a podcast produced by Valley Medical Center in Renton, Washington, as a part of our mission to care for our community like family. If you liked this episode, be sure to subscribe to our feed for more great health content. And for more health resources or to find a provider, visit valleymed.org. Thank you for joining us.